Yo, bro.
Alright guys, welcome to another video. We're here at D1NZ still, and I sure want to show you guys another one of the more like literally mental cars here at D1NZ. Showed you guys the S15 last time, but there's this S13 here with a Boss front, which is sort of uncommon. Usually it's done with an S14. The S13 Boss front has got a supercharged 1UZ, and I don't know what else it's got, but we'll go speak with the man, Jace Brown, and see what this thing's all about. It's a pretty rowdy car, and probably my favourite sounding car here at D1NZ. Probably one of the cars I'd like to drive the most, because I get those like low brain vibes from this car, because it's got individual throttles, but they're above the, well, I don't even know if they're ITBs. I don't think they are. They're just intakes. So yeah, super rad, and we'll chat to the man now. Jace,
Luke.
How are you, mate?
Good, bro.
I like your car.
Yeah, thanks.
I don't normally like bright green, but I like this car.
Yeah, so it's a bit of a, we call it the Frankenstein.
It is. Well, that's the reason I came to it. There's a lot of cookie cutter stuff here. Your RVS chassis, your JZS chassis and all that sort of stuff, but without tooting your horn too much, I think it's probably the best sounding car here.
Oh, cheers, bro.
When it's on, I don't like it when it's idling.
It's got a bit of a wank idle, mate.
Yeah, it's got the wank idle.
We have to do it because the throttle bodies are too big. So,
yeah, but when it's out on track, it does sound absolutely phenomenal. It has like that super high rev NASCAR style.
Yeah.
But probably the most interesting thing about it, obviously, Boss front on an S13, cool. You don't see that very often, but the power plant.
Yeah. So we kept it Japanese.
JDM.
We stuck with the 1UZ. Now it's the early 1UZ, the non-VVT.
So what's that, from a Sora or something?
Yeah, Sora, LS400.
Yeah,
any
Celsius, that sort of
car
stuff.
Around 1990. That's the motor.
Yeah.
The early one, the one with the. They already start with a slightly bigger internal, bigger rod and stuff, but none of that's in there anymore.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's era correct as well, I guess, being the 90s.
Very correct. Yeah, definitely. So yeah, 1990 car, 1990 motor. Run the American dog box behind it. Tex Racing, TX3. So just a reliable, so far reliable box, mate.
Yeah.
Just treat it mean and it seems to hang in.
Treat it mean, keep it keen.
You got it. Yeah.
Obviously, fuel cell, all that. It's a radiator in the front or in the back?
So we've got a radiator in the front still.
Yeah.
We run a 3 28-row oil coolers in the rear, and that's what these ducts are for.
Oh, what? They're like in the rear, or? So that's all oil coolers.
Yep, we've got 3, and they're like a domino through, or like
yeah,
a steer,
right.
steer
So that's all oil coolers. That's crazy. Okay, that's very different. Yeah.
So you whack the heat out of the oil. We seem to be able to keep the heat out of the water. It would be nice to put the radiator in a different spot. Obviously with drifting, you don't get a lot of air channeled through the front of it.
Yeah.
So we haven't even worried about ducting. You sort of just get nothing around it and try and just use evaporation to keep the heat down.
Yeah.
We chill out gas. So we chill our oil and we chill out gas. So that is my intercooler. Now the fuel going in, the fuel tank, you can see underneath, it's got a whole lot of heat wrap, heat plasters all over it. It's a proper thermal heat insulant. So we chill our gas and store it in our tank. So I've got gas at 22 degrees on tap. What we're jetting in the top of it is a chilled charge, like as a chilled fuel. So the supercharger's doing its best to beat the shit out of the air, and the fuel, as it goes in, because it's so cold, it's ripping that heat back out. It's the only way we can run it.
So is it E85 or is it a bit of a chicken mix?
Nah, we had a chicken mix in it,
Yeah.
but through the winter series, it's like throwing methylated spirits at an open fire. It just takes too long to ignite, and it was causing it to bog. So, yeah, we got it back to, we're actually running E83 at the moment, just to make it more volatile. High IATs, I can roll in planes, and it's not liking it, but it's giving me good response through the winter. So, the cold air temps.
And then, so other than that, kind of normal suspension wise?
Yeah, 10 super drifts. We're running 4 kgs in the rear, 14s in the front, so probably could go a bit softer and change their balance, but it's where we've been experimenting this season. A scatter of GK Tech and Part Shop Max through the car. We're not running any Wise Fab or anything. We've had cut and shut knuckles for years. When we come over to Aussie World Time Attack, we're still on the cut and shut. So
cut and shut's a kill.
A gangster for angle and smoke, but you lose it in your drive. You just got to be careful. And I noticed with these two, you start to throw a bit of flare, and you get locked up, and you just put on a show and don't go anywhere. You just billow. So you just got to tell yourself to just hold back and keep it quick.
Rear end is quick change, like everybody else.
Like everyone had to jump on that bandwagon. We're still running GDR R32 axles with just hub adapters, so still kept it quite cheap on the axle side of things. But
used to be the cheap way.
Used to be the cheap, now you're sort of 500 New Zealand bucks for a pair, but
Is that all still?
Yeah, still. Yeah, I don't snap
in
them up,
Aussie they're over $1,000.
Are they?
Oh yeah. Like over $1,000 Australian. So you're 1200 NZ probably for a set of axles in Australia.
Been quite lucky that when they do go, you've been able to borrow bits out of a 300 ZX Turbo. You know, they're the same outers and inners. You just keep the shaft off the GDR. So if there's anyone out there with just GDR long axles, we'll take them. Have they broken?
So I've gone billet shafts with GDR ends on my Turbo LSS 13. So and then let's go to the thing that makes this thing kind of special, the engine. Like you've all got your basic stuff in here. Handbrake, bugger all, pedal box, all that jazz. None of that's too fancy, but this is where the magic happens. And this is the man that makes the magic. Professional 1UZ guy.
I just keep it together, This man keeps the magic in check. So it's a hot rod blower.
Literally a hot rod blower.
Literally, a hot rod blower. We're running at about 7 under at the moment. So because of the small cube, we can't quite run it 1-to-1. And that actually creates a little bit of a headache too, because with the RPM, we're top fuel injection, as it's spraying in, by the time it sprays in and actually gets to where it's got to get to, when the valve's opening, it's 120 degrees rotation of the engine. So there's a delay there, a bit of a head slam for guys trying to tune it. Especially Ross and Calvin.
So when they say top fueler, is that what top fueling means, or is that? Really?
Like top fuel.
I never knew that.
Oh yeah. So
top fuel is fuel before the blower.
Fuel before the blower.
No way.
I never knew that. Blowers that run on
I've been around I've watched drag racing since I was a kid, and I've never known why they were called top fuelers. Yeah, right. There you go. Education.
The traditional way for a top fueler, it's normally methanol, or some of the guys here are running straight ethanol. But they've got a mechanical pump.
Mechanical.
There's taps in the blower. And how they do it's pretty primitive. They put the big taps on the front and the small down the back, and it seems to just make this balance and
sort itself out.
They click on the middle cylinders, and if they're running all right, the rest is sweet as. So
And you've got exhaust temp sensors on everything and all. It's just
Going
pretty
into the
fancy.
winter, we've been struggling trying to ignite the fuel. So when I say go, it's instant boost, and we're trying to get the gas into the plenum. Ideally, it'd be nice if we had port injection.
Yeah.
But with D1NZ, Motorsport New Zealand, I'm not too sure what your rules are over in Oz, but we were quite lucky when we came to World Time Attack. We could run under our man's rules, but you've got a height restriction how far you can stick out the bonnet.
Oh,
And we're
have
super
you
slam.
seen my buddy's S13? The one that's been built in Australia where the engine's
Velocity,
like the height of the
stacks
windscreen? Yeah. It's a turbo,
Oh,
supercharged LS S13 and it's big. Like, it's the height of the roof.
Yeah. We were lucky, Motorsport New Zealand made an exemption. So yeah, you used to have to run covers, and we got away with this. And then
What's the reasoning for that? Is it fire stuff, or is it?
The reasoning for the front-facing scoop for Motorsport New Zealand is if you get an oil splatter, it doesn't go on your windows, which in my mind is pretty dumb because it ends up on your wheels because you got all your guards cut out and everything.
Yeah.
So we're stoked to have a hole through the frickin' bonnet, because if I blew a head gasket and I had a telltale sign straight away that I got a little bloody squirt coming out the bonnet, you know.
Yeah.
So not that that's the best thing, but heat, get the heat out of there, man. Yeah. So what I was saying is, because it's so big here, we've had to super slam, drop the motor right down. There's no room for the headers, and
It's still wet sump, or is it dry sump? Oh, it's dry sump. Yeah.
And compact everything, which as you can see is left bloody minimal room to throw a port injection in there. So yeah, even though Chicken would love to see a port injection in there.
Yeah.
So that's been our headache with just trying to get the fuel in there, and it comes back to putting E85 makes it it's a bit more responsive.
Yeah. And inside of the motor, obviously you said it's not stock.
Not stock. It does have a stock crank. We've just knife edged it, advanced all the oil ports so we can rev it. It's just running, Ross pistons, eagle rods. Like, it's not too special there.
Yeah.
But the heads, I don't know. Put dollars on it. There's 10 to 15 aside.
Yeah, right.
I have to edit that for the wife, but
just don't show
just to
it.
get the air through it. Yeah.
Or just have a big chat. Just be like, oh, well, yeah. Why are you showing her the video?
Enough,
Yeah.
And big headers, get that boost out of there. You know?
Yeah.
So any sort of restriction after here is going to create boost. So
what are they, like a 4-into-1 or
we're
4
running-
into 2 into 1? Or?
Yeah, 2-inch into a 4.5-inch merge, and then into 2 3-inch pipes all the way through.
They don't merge?
Yes, and we've got to balance about a
Yeah,
metre
you got to
back,
balance.
so it
I was
doesn't sound like a bloody 4 or 5
thong
cylinder.
slapper. Yeah,
right.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like a thong slapper.
You got it. Yeah.
And then radiator, because it's got a way out in the front because of all your pulleys and everything as
That's
well.
right. Yeah.
It's definitely in the danger zone, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. We carry spares, so
Yeah,
If I have a tab, unfortunately,
You're not allowed to run into everybody.
Yeah, you got it.
Yes, I'm allowed to. I don't know what else to say. And still, like I said, GK Tech, LCAs, PBM knuckle,
Yep, almost the stuff you find on the street.
teens, big brakes. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, they're just a detail or a case sport.
Oh, K-Sport.
Yeah, that's just
Really
for
big
the-
brakes.
That's just the gangster factor. Like, you don't
Like,
really use
everybody
front
else is going for light stuff.
Yeah.
You're like, I'll put some big ass. Well, and to be fair, like the heaviest wheels ever as well.
Yeah,
like,
we put them on just for guys like you this weekend. Like, we've got some nicer, lighter ones, but I thought I'd just keep the big bulldozer. rims
these
on
are for
there.
bulldozing. I like it.
The spikes might stand out. Like Mad Max.
Did we mention power?
So power, we're sitting at the wheels 750. Take away 100 horse for the blower and a little bit of loss through the drivetrain. We're pretty close to 900 at the crank. So
Yeah, right.
yeah.
So she's chirp second.
Put some. Yeah, she chirps second. All
Yeah.
right. You put some turbos.
Only when it's wet.
Put some turbos on there, and you'd almost add another 300 horsepower.
Yeah, but you'd ruin it as well. The sound's part of it, I think.
So
Yeah.
although Geordie Cole's running that combo, and his car sounds pretty freaking rad as well. So
Yeah, not as good as this. His car does sound good, but not. This does scream. I like the scream. The thing with V8s, you get them to rev, they sound amazing.
yeah, that's right.
So,
So
what is it revving to?
We're somewhere around the 9.5 to 9.8 this weekend. Yeah.
Okay, well that's.
Well, I heard you were doing 8.8 in your RV, so I had to go higher.
Yeah, we're valve floating, so.
Oh, okay.
That's because my buddy Mitch is building that supercharged S13. He's actually doing a D-stroked LS
Yep.
that he's planning to rev out to 10
Yep.
with a blower setup, and he was a bit concerned about the belt staying on at those high revs, and I think
Only time we've chucked a
you're
belt.
making it work.
Yeah. So we chuck dry sump belts when we get the rubber noodles come off the tyre because we're not running in the guards.
Yeah.
It just goes through, snaps about. I've had that happen once. we were lucky enough just to go through the procedure, cutting a filter, putting another filter on there, and throwing a belt on. The management clipped the revs. I came out adrift, but we were lucky that the guy spun on the second run and we're enough to do a rerun. So, but yeah, as far as belts tracking, I got a massive belt. The belt's going to go.
Yeah, the belt's huge.
Like,
that's I think he's planning to run a similar size sort of setup.
Yeah, man, we've balanced it to 11.
11.
11,000 RPM. And the only reason is I just don't want it to let go at around 10. So.
Steering's electric, is it? A lot like
so
the Astra style or whatever?
Yeah, most guys are running the Astra, the MR2. We've actually picked something off a A200 Mercedes, a little
Mercedes. That's popular.
basket.
No, that's the bottle style one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, that's popular in Europe. Yeah.
Kept it short.
Really easy to package.
Yeah. The only thing is you just got to shim them. The little pressure release a little bit low. So
so that's his power steering pump here, guys. Now it's not much bigger than a monster can.
No, that's right.
Yeah.
Tiny and short. Like that's our line.
Super short lines and
We don't. It doesn't overheat even with 700 degrees.
Well, this is the thing. I spoke to a power steering expert, and he actually told me the reason a lot of the guys' electric power steering setups aren't working is because of the length of the line. Power steering causes heat in the line. They said the pump from the rear to the front, that's where you're actually overheating your oil in the line. So the closer you have them to the rack, the better. And I was about to pull the trigger on a $5,000 friggin' electric pump, and he was like, "I'm not going to sell it to you because it's not going to fix your problem."
Yeah.
He said basically you need to just move the one you've got right next to the rack.
Yeah. Nice.
So definitely, especially when you can package it that small, makes so much more sense.
Yeah.
Because hard things. You've obviously got a spare one because
we do.
Kind of hard to find.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I went through a bit of a phase here. It's just anything I found, you get your stock
doubles and triples, whatever.
So I think because it's got the Mercedes logo on it, it is around second hand over here. $300-400 new. They're a couple of grand.
And it's literally one of those things in Europe you get for 50.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Literally, no, they are that cheap. Like it's
stacked up on the side of the road.
Like BMW manual gearboxes in Europe are $100.
Yeah.
And like everywhere else, they're expensive as so. That's not good. That's why I didn't go out for practice.
It's loose.
Yeah.
I'm
waiting for some heat to come back in the track.
A cautious run, and we ran the wall all the way. So I thought I was going to be an easy couple meters off. So Carl actually stacked it behind me, binned it.
Yeah, pretty bad. So good luck out there today.
Yeah, thanks, Luke. Yeah.
I don't know what side we're on. Is there a possibility?
Actually, I think you're on the other side. So
let's go in the final then. Let's go in the final, buddy.
No worries.